sell houses. And that's all we do, plain and simple at the end of the day. But it's not only about selling a property or about that property or traditional real estate. As a matter of fact, it has very little to do with traditional real estate. It's not about that at all. It's about the system. It's about finding people. It's about helping people. I think it's one of the things Ed liked the most, and one of the things we're the most proud of is it helps people. It rebuilds families, it rebuilds homes, it rebuilds communities, it rebuilds neighborhoods. It does. That's what our company does. It's amazing. And we make money doing it. And our investors get to make money by doing that because they bought a property from us. But you have to be patient. If there's a system in place, and there is, and you have to let it work for you, then you have to be patient. You have to let the system work. You can't get impatient. You can't rush the system. It is what it is, and it does happen. You just need to allow that to happen. I don't have a crystal ball, and I can't predict what that was. A lot of people used to come up, and the only question they asked when I was done was, well, how long does it take to get somebody in the house? Now the answer is that, well, the longest it will take is 6 months. And if there's not anybody in it, you can get a different property. So we help to mitigate all the risk we possibly can. But again, it's about the system. This is not a get-rich-quick strategy, not a get-rich-quick scheme. There's no scheme to it, or there's a lot of strategy to it, but this is not a get-rich-quick strategy. It is what it is. You buy a piece of property, we put a sign on it, we market it, we make it very, very easy for people to buy what they're interested in the first place, and help them get their credit repaired, and help them obtain the third-party mortgage so you can get cash down. It just seems real simple, right? It is simple. It's not easy. 45 people in North Carolina would disagree with you if you said this is easy. Very difficult. But it's simple, not easy. But it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. You need to focus on your return and not on your perceived value. Again, this is the last chance I get to take a pop shot at traditional real estate and its failures. Here's what happens with traditional real estate. People get greedy. I think greed and traditional real estate models have what have caused this problem we're facing today. The simple fact that everyone got greedy all the way through the fact they buy something, look at making a little bit more, and then pay some. Well, I have to raise the prices, and they get worked themselves into a situation that doesn't work. Motivated predominantly by greed. I don't think the real traditional real estate model works. Because it mainly is driven by greed. So we are not traditional real estate. I want you to focus on your return. If you can buy something for $25,000, have something, not have paper, but have something, a house, for that money, and someone else probably wants to buy that at less than they're currently paying for rent, and they want to move into it, and we can help them get a mortgage, and they can cash you out, then okay, then maybe there's a good chance of that. I want you to focus on that. I want you to focus on turning 25 grand into 35 grand, or 25 grand into 50 grand, or 25 grand into 75 grand. That's what I want you to focus on. Not on your perceived value of the real estate. Because the two don't work well together in our system at all. You can't go, well, that house sold for $135,000 3 years ago. I'm not selling that for $75,000. If you do it through our system, you will. If you don't want to, you can gladly buy the property and move it outside the system. And we wish you all the luck. And you probably will do fine because you're buying it right. And you can have a different model of doing different things, repairing and flipping all this. Ours is real simple. We help get people in houses. They got sweat equity in the deal. They want to live there. The house needs some repairs. It needs some things. They're going to do that for you. Why? Because they want to have an opportunity. They understand opportunity. I'll tell you what, people understand opportunity today more than they have in a very long time. They understand what sweat equity is and how to make that work. And if they work hard, they can make something happen. Because the old days of sitting around being greedy and lazy and letting it come to you just aren't happening anymore. They just are not. So focus on your return, not on your perceived value. Let the system work for you, and please, please, please don't get greedy. Everybody can win. We can all do well. I can do well by selling to you a little bit up front and buy more properties. That's the only reason I do this, is to free up more cash. I go back and do it again. You can do well as an investor. You can make a great return. And the person moving into property might move in with 10 or 20 or 30 or 40% equity. There's nothing wrong with that. And who lost? The bank. Do we feel sorry about that? No. Of course not. All right. So, different ways to fund, and just to bring up a few that you might not know about. Number one way is cash, of course. Pay us $24,900 cash. If you choose to do that, we'll show you how. And explain that. A self-directed IRA. A self-directed IRA is simply an IRA, a 401k, or something to that effect, that is now self-directed. If you don't have a self-directed IRA, or you don't know what one is and you'd like to know, make sure you mention that, and we'll give you some information in our sales room across the hall. The reason they're so important is everybody in this room should have a self-directed Roth IRA. Everyone should. And you should put $6,000 a year into it everywhere, because it's like paying taxes on the seed or taxes on the harvest. Which one would you rather do?
Seed.
Seed every time. You get to pay that money now, post-tax, and you never, if it becomes $1 million or $10 million or $100 million, you'll never pay tax again on it. Roth IRAs. And self-directed means that you don't just have to buy stock. Because you notice I didn't say everyone should have a Roth IRA. Because listen, if you're only going to do a traditional or a Roth IRA at one of the big companies and you have to buy mutual funds or stocks or bonds, I'm not sure you should do that. I mean, I just out there in my mattress or put it in a jar or buy some gold, like Ed said. I'm not sure you should do that. But if you've got options to buy anything you want, that's what a self-directed IRA does. Self-directed IRA is very good. You can buy our properties in self-directed IRAs. You can buy real estate in self-directed IRAs. You can just about buy anything you can dream of. Start companies, you can do all kinds of things. So if you'd like more information, we'd be glad to hear it. But you can buy our houses in self-directed IRAs. Home equity lines of credit is another great way to do that. If you've got in Texas was very weird. I was talking to someone last night. A decade ago, you guys didn't allow HELOCs in second mortgages, but I think now you are to a very conservative 75%. Is that right? That's a great place to be. But second mortgages or HELOCs are traditionally very inexpensive money, and you still, for now, get to deduct that interest off your taxes. So, is it a good investment tool? Well, yeah. Yeah, if you're getting stuff at prime at 3.25% or prime minus 1 at 2.25%, yeah. If you do nothing more than pull it out and find a money market paying a point more than you're paying, be the bank and make the point spread. And get to take the interest off your taxes. You add that to what you made, you're going to have a nice little return. I hope you buy some houses from us, but I tell you what, a HELOC is a great way to get involved. Has a lot of advantages. Is it for everyone? No, it is not. But if you have a lot of equity in your home, and let me say it this way: if you have a home equity line of credit that has untapped credit available on it. Say you have a $100,000 line and you have $20,000 on it, and you have $80,000 sitting there unused. I would encourage you, and I do every meeting, to get up from this meeting, go get on your laptop in the lobby and pull the money off, at least stick it in your checking account. And here's why. You can always pay it back, and you can probably find somewhere, just like I said, that'll pay you more. There's always banks that need cash, more than your bank that loaned it to you on that line. But what banks are doing are killing lines of credit. Second lines of credit is the first thing on the chopping block, and has been for over a year. Which means don't be surprised. Has anybody got a letter? Anybody got a freeze letter on a HELOC? In Texas, I don't know if you guys do that much, but that's amazing. Most every crowd we go to, people get those letters, they'll freeze your account because it's a great way for them to get their liquidity percentages in order. So they'll freeze those accounts. And if you get that frozen, you've lost the opportunity of that money and what it can make you for a very long time. So, if not forever. So HELOCs are a great opportunity. If you need to know more about that, we'll be glad to talk to you about. Also, stock loan portfolios. If you have a stock portfolio and you don't want to sell or can't sell because you have to take a capital gain or a capital loss, if you know what I'm talking about and you would like to look at a different strategy, we have a company that lends the money on stock portfolios, on non-recourse money. It's an amazing product, and I'll be glad to talk to you about it. So if you have a stock portfolio and you'd like to talk about that, we'll talk about that later today as well. And then reverse mortgages are another way that people can get involved on their primary residence. If you're 62 years or older and you have a primary residence with some equity in it, a reverse mortgage is a great way to get involved. Reverse mortgages are a great way to pull out equity to help decrease if you have other debt. It's not for everybody, but if you'd like to talk about it, I can maybe help you look and weigh it out if it is something that is for you. But reverse mortgage on a primary residence is a way to look at that. Very low interest right now, no monthly payments required, and if you're one of those folks that are real estate poor, which means you've got a primary residence, it's all paid for, you really are struggling with cash otherwise, there's really no need for that struggle. There are ways that you can get around that. It's not for everyone.